Hello students, welcome back to online classes of digital communication. This is Aisha Sultana, Assistant Professor of ISL Engineering College from EC department. So in the last class we have started the chapter channel coding, where we have seen how you are going to add the redundancy bits to your transmitter side as well as the receiver side to the data stream that you are transmitting through a particular channel. Fine. Then very immediate to that one, we have started a topic of need for error control coding. Why actually we go for error control codings. Fine. And we have seen different kinds of errors. I hope you all remember what are the different kinds of errors that we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, that was your random error as well as your burst errors. So what is a random error? It might be 1-bit or 2-bit errors that may be obtained suddenly randomly in your data stream or your message signal, and burst errors are the bunch of the errors that will be occurring into your data stream. So that are the different kinds of errors. I would like to show some example of these errors so that you people will be very clear about this. So this is a type of your random error that will be occurring in your message data stream. As I have said that random errors are the one that will be purely random. It may be occur anywhere in your data stream. So here if you see, this is the data stream that has been sent, but at the receiver side, at this particular part, your data has been changed to 0 to 1. So what is the receiver is receiving? That is 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 0. So this is the error that has been occurred when the data has been transmitted from your transmitter to the receiver. So as to overcome this kind of errors, or as to mitigate this kind of errors, we require this channel coding. So what happens whenever we are having this data, your extra bits will be, the redundant bits will be added up to your data stream, and in case if there is an error, that will be affecting only your extra bits. Okay. Next, see the second part. What are the burst errors that will be occurring? So these are the burst errors. Okay, a bunch of errors that will be completely coming into your data stream. So this is the data stream that has been sent by the transmitter to the receiver through a particular channel, but what the receiver is actually receiving, say here, what is the stream? 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0 0 1 1. But at the receiver side, what are the data that you are receiving? Instead of zeros, you got 1 here, again at the 1 you got again 0, again of 2 zeros you got 1. So this is the burst error, means a bunch of errors that will be occurring, or the bunch of errors that will be coming into the data stream. So these will be depending on each other. So if I try to mitigate or reduce this error, this is also affected. So this is how they are completely depend upon each other. So whenever you are going to remove this one, whole this error has to be removed. Okay, so as to remove this kind of errors, we are going for the error detection. Okay, we have said these are the kind of errors. You know this is the error, but practically how you are going to detect this one. So as to show that one, I have used a handwritten notes for you people, so that will be very clear. So by using this, we can identify where exactly your error is present. So that kind of detection technique is called as syndrome error detection. Okay, so the technique which is called which is used to detect the errors at your receiver side, whatever the data stream that you have received, that is called as your syndrome error detection. Please to remember this word. You might get a question in the final exams saying that you have to find your syndrome error. Okay, so this is how you are going to find. So what it is? The error detection technique which is used at the receiver side, that is to detect the error in the received data, that is called as your syndrome error detection. And for that one, you are having a formula that is given as delta S is equals to delta Y into H transpose. Okay, I'll repeat it once again. Delta S is equals to delta Y into delta H transpose. Now see, what are the things that you are having? You have found the error. So delta S is nothing but your syndrome error. And what is delta Y? Delta Y is the received code word. So what you will be receiving in this code word? Both you will be having. That is your error as well as your original code word. So if you go see here, this is the received code word. So whatever the code word is consisting of, it is consisting of your original data. Along with that one, it is also having the errors. Correct? So I am also having the same word. See here, C is your C plus E, delta C plus delta E. That gives your code word for the transmitter, from the transmitter whatever you got, and E is the error produced at the channel. So Y is equals to C plus E. Now your if SE is equals to 0, in case if there is no error present in your data, then you can directly give as syndrome S is equals to C into the H transpose. Yes. In case if there is an error, you have to find that particular error. If there is no error, directly you can give the formula delta S is equals to C into H transpose. I hope you are all clear with this one. We'll see one example problem for this, then it will be very clear, and it is very interesting problem. But before we move on to that one, I'll revise once again what actually is syndrome detection or syndrome error detection. The error detection technique which is used at the receiver side to detect the errors in the received data is called as your syndrome error detection technique. We have seen different kinds of errors, but now we have to detect the errors. Now afterwards we'll see how to reduce that errors also. Okay, let's move on to the example. See, I have given an example. Find the error syndrome of Y is equals to 1101101. Okay, this is the message stream that I have given. Okay, now you have to find out exactly where is your error. Okay, so this is the message data for which your H transpose will be is equals to the data bit we have given here, where Y is the received code word and you have to calculate the error bit. So in this part, in this message bit, where is your error, you have to find out. It is like this one. You have got this one. Okay, this is the data which has given in the question. Now in this one, where is the error that you have to find it out? Where is actually the error? Here, this is kind of data and you have to find out the exact data. Okay. Okay, what is the formula for the for calculating the syndrome error? S is equals to Y into H transpose. What is the Y? You already got. Y is nothing but your message signal, where it is consisting of both code word as well as your error code. Both it is consisting in this one. And what is the H transpose? You already H transpose is given. So you have to multiply now. Correct? Now if you do the multiplication, 1 into 1, 1 plus 1 into 1, 1 plus 1, 0 into 1, 0 plus 1 into 0 is 0 plus 0 into 0 is 0 again 1 into 1, 1. So you have to calculate this one. So how many ones I have got here? 1 plus 1 plus 1. 3 ones. If you do the modulo addition, of course, see in the last class itself I have told that for this linear block coding you have to do the modulo 2 addition, where addition of 2 code words should be giving you 1 more code word. Okay, so here also you have to do the same operation, or you have to do the XOR operation. So what is the answer for this one? For triple 1, 1 plus 1 is 0, again 0 plus 1 is 1. So this you have got from the first message bit. Now again Y into second row, this second column completely. 1 into 0, 0 plus 1 into 1, 1, again plus 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1 plus 0 into 1 plus 0 into 1 again plus 1 into 0. So how many ones you have got here? 1 and 2. 1 plus 1 is equals to 0. So what is the answer? 0. Now multiply same this message bit with the last column. Again you will be getting 0. So what is the message bit that we have got over here, ma? 1 0 0. So this is the message or the data or your syndrome detection error or the syndrome error that you have got. So S is equals to 1 0 0. Now you have to find exactly where is your error in your message bit. What is the message bit? Y is equals to 1101101. Now you got the answer, syndrome is equals to 110. How you are going to find it out? The bit where the error is occurred, you have to find in this particular H transfer. What is the bit stream? 100. So where is exactly 100 in this H transpose? It is in this position. Now count that particular position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, in the fifth position you are having the error. Now go back to this message signal. You can count over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means at this particular one you will be having the error. Now that you have to remove. Clear? See, the bit where the error has been occurred is number 5, that is 100. Now what exactly we have to do? We have to extract the original signal, and for that one you have to add this code error. Okay, what is the code? 10110101 plus where you have got the error at the bit position 5. Now I will be taking as all zeros. See how many zeros? 7 zeros, and only one I will be keeping where I got the error. So which position it is? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have kept a 1 over here. Then again all are zeros. Now you have to add these two. So 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 1, 0. Again 1 plus 0, 1. 0 plus 0, 0. 1 plus 0, 1. 1 plus 0, 1. So this is your exact message signal that was transmitted before affecting of error. Because it has been affected with error, this position 1 has been changed to 0. 0 has been changed to 1. So this is your original bit stream, that is 1101,001. What we have got? 1101101, but it was 001. This is your original data bit stream or the bit stream that has been transmitted by the transmitter. Okay, I hope you are clear. First you have to go, you have just to see the problem. They will be giving you the message signal or the message stream that has to be multiplied with your H transpose, because syndrome error formula is S is equals to Y into H transpose. Now after multiplying, you will be getting a output bit. You have to search which exactly that is matching in your H transpose. Count the number, count the what is position of that particular one. You will be getting some particular position to that original message signal. You have to add the error. Okay, wherever the error you have got, you have to add that particular one, and you will be getting the exact output. So this is how you are going to find the error, and also you are reducing the error. Okay, so this is one more assignment for you people. You have to calculate this one. Find the error syndrome of V is equals to 1110010 for the H transpose is already given. So where V is your received code word, that is nothing but your Y, and you have to find out the error bit, where is exactly error bit and how you have reduced that one, and what is the exact bit you have to that has been transmitted through the transmitter. You have to get that one, and that is the assignment for you people. Okay, I hope this chapter is very interesting for you. In case of any doubts, please do let me know. Okay. So before we move on to the next topic, I'll just want to show how exactly the process of error detection will be doing on in this block coding. So this is the sender and this is the receiver. So in digital communication, what we'll be doing after giving the message signal, it will be sampling, quantizing, then encoding. So up to here you have your data has been encoded and you got a data word of k bits. Now that will be given to the generator, and from that one you will be getting a code word, and that code word will be given to the receiver side where you will be having checker bits. Now this particular generator is nothing but your channel encoder, where you will be adding the extra bits, and at the receiver side this checker will be discarding your extra bits that have been added at this particular part, and you will be taking off the data words or the exact k bits that has been transmitted from the sender and are received at the receiver. Again they will be decoded and your original message signal will be received by the receiver. Clear? This is how your process of error detection and is also continuously going on, and these checking will be done at this part, at the checker part. You are going to find which kind of error is that one. Okay, and how you are going to remove. So syndrome error detection will also be present in this checker part only. Okay, now see the next topic that you are having here is your Hamming distance. What exactly mean by Hamming distance? So before we move on to the Hamming distance, I would like to tell about a small topic about minimum distance in the block codes. How you are going to find the minimum distance, how you will know that there is a distance between in your block codes or the linear block codes. So whenever you are having any pair of codes or code vectors in the code, the minimum distance can be found by using their difference between ones and zeros in that particular one. And you can also find the distance weight also, the Hamming weight, depending upon the non-zero code words that will be present in your bit stream. Okay, so I'll start with this Hamming distance. So Hamming distance is nothing but it is the difference between the two words, okay, corresponding two words or the pair of code vectors which are defined as the number of locations in which they are having some their elements which are having different values. I'll repeat it once again, listen carefully. The Hamming distance between the pair of code vectors or between the pair of codes is set as number of locations in which they are having some elements in different positions, or the two elements are different. Suppose I had a bit stream of 101, then in the second part I will be having 110. So 101 and 110 they will be having difference in this one. So that particular number of differences can be given as your Hamming distance. So the minimum Hamming distance is the smallest Hamming distance between all the possible pairs in the set of words. I'll show you with the example. See here, the Hamming distance between the pair of code vectors is defined as number of locations in which their respective elements will be differing. First code word what I have given here, that is 00101101, and the second code word is 00010010. So these particular codes, what you are saying, you have to find the difference between them. Okay, so what is this 00 is same, this is also same, again 10 it is different, 01 again it is different, 10 is different. So you have to find the difference of between these pair of code words. So how many we have got, how many pairs we have got with the different elements? 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. So your D minimum or the Hamming distance for this particular two code words can be given as 6. So if I give an example for you, 01, you calculate for this one, what is 0110, again I will be giving as 1101. So how many I will get? 1 2 3. So 3 is the D minimum distance that I will be getting. Fine. Now see the next one, the Hamming weight. How you are going to find out the Hamming weight? It is the code vector defined as number of non-zero elements which are present in your code vector. Non-zero elements are nothing but number of ones which are present in your code vector. What is the Hamming weight of this particular code vector? What is the code vector that I have given here? 0110101. So number of non-zero elements, that means a number of ones, that is 1 2 3 and 4. So these are the 4. So what is the Hamming weight of this particular code word? That is your 4. W of C is equals to 4. So this is how you are going to find out the Hamming distance as well as your Hamming weight of your particular code word. Okay. So I hope you are all clear with the Hamming distance and Hamming weight of your particular codes. Now see, what are the error correcting and error detecting capabilities of your linear block codes? How you are going to find out the errors? So as to find out this error correcting capability, you need a block code that should be having n, k linear block codes, and you have to find the minimum distance and they have to be corrected up. Okay, so the ability of a linear block code is to correct the errors by using the minimum distance of your code word. We have seen the Hamming distance. Now we have to find the minimum distance of your code word. And in defining the error correcting, the detecting capability, we assume that decoder will be associated with a received vector or a received data, and that is been transmitted by a code vector C. I hope you people have got confused. There is nothing more. So what you are going, a linear block code should be able of correcting the errors by using your minimum distance of the code word. And for that one, what we require two things. At the what decoder or the receiver should be having a receiver code vector. Okay, whatever the receiver that will be having along with the redundancy bits. Along with that one, it should be also consisting of the transmitted code vector, because if they cross check also, they should be able to find out this particular part we have got an error. Okay, so the decoder should be associated with the received vector or the received data, and also with that you have to have a transmitted code vector. Okay, this is a particular theorem that we will be seeing here now. So error correcting capability of a block code can be found by considering n, k linear block codes which are having with the minimum distances and can be corrected up to t is equals to d minimum minus 1 by 2. This is the formula for your what we can say error correcting capability. So t is equals to d minimum minus 1 divided by 2. What is now we have, this is the one which we have to prove. What is C here? C is a transmitted code vector that we are giving. R is the received code vector and C dash is any other code vector. Any other is nothing but that is your error that is coming up or added up into your transmitted code vector. Clear? So this receiver code vector will be having the combination of your transmitted signal. Along with that one, it will be also having the error code also, right? Now how you are going to find the Hamming distance between these two, all these code vectors? You have to find the Hamming distance between your received code vector and the other code vector. Then you have to find the Hamming distance between the transmitted code vector and received code vector, and the Hamming distance between your received code vector and other code vector. I'll show one example for this, how we are going to find out the Hamming distances. See here, I got a Hamming distance. I have to find the Hamming distance between 0, 0, 0 and 0, 1, 1. What are the similar things? 0 and 0. This 0, 1 is different and this 0, 1 is different. So what is the Hamming distance I have to get? Hamming distance is 2. Now you consider the other code word 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And you have to find the Hamming distance between these two code vectors. And what is the other code vector? 1, 1, 1, 1, 0. So what is the difference between these two? Or you can also give it as XOR 1. So 1, 1, it is same. 0, 1, it is different. 1 you got. 1, 1 is again same. 0, 1 is different. Again 1, 0 is different. So how many we have got? 3 ones. So your Hamming distance is 3. Exactly, right? I hope you are clear. Now you can also see here, I am going to find out the Hamming distance between these code strings or whatever the code words I have got, you have to find. As I have told here, in this you are going to find the Hamming distance between code, the transmitted code and the other code. C, C dash, again transmitted code, received code, again other code and received code. Here also if you see how many options I will be getting, I have to find the Hamming distance between first two. Okay, these two, then I have to find that Hamming distance between again these two, again these three. Okay, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. Again Hamming distance between 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. Again lastly these two Hamming distance between 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0. So what is the Hamming distance between last two? If I say it is 2, correct? Ones are same, 0, 1, 1, 0. They are different. So I got a 2. If I consider in this one, first 2, 0, 0 is same, 0, 1 is same, 0, 1 is also same. Okay. So you have to find out what are the differences you have got. So you have got a 2 Hamming distance. Similarly here also you have to find the Hamming distance and that should be added up at the last. So that is given by an equation, distance of your code word and received code word plus Hamming distance between the error code word and received code vector should be greater than or equals to Hamming distance between your received code vector, transmitted code vector plus your error code vector. Okay, now suppose a error pattern has been occurred, that is T dash, during the transmission code, then the Hamming distance between these transmitted and received code words can be given as distance between transmitted and received code words is equals to T dash. Now an error pattern has been occurred now. Now we have to see whether, since the code you have assumed is which is having minimum distance, then the code word that you have the minimum distance, we have assumed that you are having the minimum distance at the starting, at the theorem itself, when you have initiated the theorem. So now what you are doing, the distance, the Hamming distance between your received code vector and your error code vector should be greater than or equals to minimum distance. So now I am substituting this equation 2 and 3 in the equation 1. What is the equation 1 you have got? This one you have to substitute over there. So T dash, that is equals to T dash, distance between C and R is equals to T dash, and different the Hamming distance between C and C dash is D minimum minus 1. So I will be taking it as T dash plus D into C dash comma R, that should be greater than of your D minimum, that is your minimum distance. So these can be also written as the Hamming distance between your other code and received code should be less than the minimum distance minus than that of your error pattern that we have assumed, that is distance between your received and transmitted code. So that can be simply applicable, and that can be given as T less than or equals to D minimum divided by 2. So therefore, thus for a linear block codes with the minimum distance that can correct up to T errors should satisfy or should be given as T less than or equals to D minimum, that is the minimum distance minus 1 divided by 2. So this parameter T is called as your error correcting capability of your particular code, whatever it is given. So I hope you are clear, but I have just explained this theorem as to know how you are going to find out the distances between your error codes or received codes and transmitted codes. But you will get a formula, your problem in the final exam only by using this formula, okay? And you will be directly going to find out the Hamming distance and Hamming weight. Clear? So I hope you are clear with this part also. Now see the next one, error detecting capability of the block code. The first what you have seen, what was the heading I have given, error correcting and error detecting capabilities, in which first part, that is T minimum, what I have given is your error detecting. You have to correct the errors. Now here you are going to detect the errors. Here you have corrected the particular error. So that can be given as, if n comma k is in the linear block codes, the minimum distance will be capable of finding all the errors that are present in your pattern, and for that one you can give the formula capital D should be less than or equals to D minimum minus 1. What is the D minimum? Minimum distance between the block codes that we have assumed. Okay. So this was about your error correcting and error detecting capabilities. So in case of any doubts regarding this topic, please do let me know. I'll wind up the class here itself. Thank you.